you interested in the truth? People keep saying that Brazil is a climate bomb and the world will suffer the consequences. That's a lie. It's not a narrative, it's a fact. Brazil is a free and extremely preserved country. Did you know that 66% of the Brazilian territory is fully conserved?
Just a quick correction. Brazil does not preserve 66% of its territory. About 66% of its land is covered with native vegetation. That does not mean at all that it's all preserved. 11% of that area has burned at least once in the past 36 years, and another 9% has been clear-cut and regrown. Plus, much of that vegetation is in private properties, which are allowed to legally deforest between 20% and 80% of their area. Indeed, between 1985 and 2020, Brazil lost 82 million hectares of its native vegetation to agriculture. That's about 5 times the area of Florida.
Did you know that this number reaches 84% when it comes to the Brazilian Amazon?
That's imprecise. According to INPE, the government agency that monitors deforestation, 80% of the Amazon is kept as a forest. A lot of it is fragmented, and up to 40% of that area may be under some form of degradation, like logging and recurrent fires.
And that 85% of the electric energy consumed throughout Brazil comes from renewable resources. Anyone who talks about our Amazon has never visited. Do you think it is even possible to criticize without seeing it?
Have you, each one here been in Amazon before? Which one have you been in Amazon?
Well, look who's talking. Bolsonaro appointed as environment minister a guy called Ricardo Salles, who had never set foot in the Amazon before taking office. It took him 3 months to make his first visit, and when he did, he didn't go to the jungle, but to an illegal GM soy plantation inside an indigenous land.
Did you know that Brazil is responsible for 1 in 5 meals that are consumed all over the world? And only using 7% of our territory for agriculture.
That's a cunning lie. Food production takes up 31% of the Brazilian territory. Even though crops occupy the smaller part of this area, more than 20% of Brazilian territory is under pasture, and another 5% is natural grasslands that are used as pasture, meaning Brazil's agriculture actually uses 36% of the country, about the world's average.
While 14% is protected indigenous territory.
True, but not thanks to Bolsonaro. The current ruler is the first president since the end of military rule to finish his term without demarcating a single millimeter of indigenous land. He's even tried to undo previous demarcations. The president actually encouraged the invasion of indigenous lands, which increased by 137% during his term.
Did you know that G20 countries responsible for 80% of the world's GDP are also responsible for 78% of the carbon monoxide emitted into the atmosphere? Brazil, on the other hand, is responsible for issuing only 2.9%.
I'm sure he meant carbon dioxide, but anyways, Brazil is part of the G20. The 2.9% figure is roughly correct, but misleading. Brazil is the 6th biggest emitter of carbon dioxide in the world, and the 4th biggest culprit for current global warming, thanks to the destruction of its forests.
While they say we are exhausting our forests, those countries don't have 5% of their own territory preserved. Now you know.
Liar, liar, wood's on fire. First, it's not them saying, it's the satellites. Deforestation in 2021 was 76% higher than in 2018, before Bolsonaro was sworn in. It's the highest rate in 15 years. We don't know where the 5% figure comes from, nor which countries he's talking about. But let's look at a few. Europe has 39% of its territory under several types of forests. Japan has nearly 70% of its land covered by forests. Many countries in the industrialized world did destroy many of their primary forests in the past. In Europe, deforestation dates back to the Middle Ages, so they know better. And today, those countries are gaining forests. In Europe, they have increased by 10% since the 1990s, whereas Brazil lost 12.5% of its native cover since 1985, according to the Map Biomass project.